automatically equal competence? Because I got a YouTube comment on the Flyers show yesterday after Charlie said that the Flyers brass's opinion was automatically more likely to be correct than mine simply because they have the job. I just have to pose this question. Is that the case in any other line of work? Like any job you've had, and everyone knows I've had a whole bunch of jobs in a whole bunch of different forums. How many places have you been employed where the people in charge actually have any idea what they're talking about? Or just have more institutional knowledge than the working staff, because that's what we are as both fans and analysts. We've been around a long time. We see how this place is run and how other places are run as well. Sure, there's management with long track records of success, like Howie Roseman has absolutely earned deference, even when he's wrong about something. It's like, yeah, but he's usually right, so we move on. But as much as I like Danny and Jonesy personally, and I do a whole lot, what are their big wins that have earned our trust and respect, or have at least allowed me to go, you know what, I'm probably wrong here? It's not like they've ever done anything like this before. Keith Jones was a good NHL player who spent 20 years in media. His qualifications in running a franchise are literally no different than any other media members. And Danny Briere was a very good NHL player who has worked his way up through Comcast Spectacor's ranks to now run their NHL team. Neither had done this job before getting it, and if NHL experience itself is some sort of marker of proficiency in running an NHL team, let's take a look at Wayne Gretzky's coaching record, the greatest of all time, except behind the bench, well below 500. Authority has no bearing on competence. Just look at the world. Do you think anybody in a position of power at work or in government or anywhere is better at something than you just because of their job title? I sure as hell have seen only basically the opposite in practice. Hey, everybody, how you doing? Well, that's good. Welcome to Philadelphia, presented by Bet Parks. My name is Bill Matz. I am your director of fun and games for the afternoon. We are here live in the Xfinity studio, and yes, I realize my cold open today was ridiculous, and I'm not saying I'm definitely better at running an NHL franchise. I just don't think in these situations we should automatically defer to people of authority. I just don't understand that appeal when in literally all of life, you look at someone with a job title and go, they don't know what the F they're talking about. Like, yeah, they know the day-to-day ins and outs of a job simply because they do it, but give me that job. And like, I'm not, again, not saying I would have more success. I'm just saying in things like in this conversation we had yesterday on the Flyers show, when it comes to the evaluation of an individual talent, there is nobody more skilled than others just because of their job title. Yes, there are certain little nuances you can look for, but how many times do scouts get it wrong? Guys whose job it is to simply evaluate the talent of a player, whether they be an amateur or already in the league. Like, oh, that's a good fit, or we think we can see something more in that, or we don't see it in that guy. How often are they wrong? At least half the time? I don't know, man. Throw a dart. A lot of people could be right or wrong half the freaking time. That just bothers me when there's just this automatic deference to authority when every experience we have in life is, yeah, people in charge usually don't know what the hell they're talking about. They just happen to get a job because they knew somebody or they knew how to put together a resume. Their LinkedIn looks great. This is not a shot at Jonesy and Danny. You all know I have a personal relationship with Keith Jones. Danny Briere, an awesome, great all-time Flyer. Rooting for them 100%. It's not about them individually. It is about this deference to authority. Automatically, they must know more than us. Who says who? Says freaking who? Did Chuck Fletcher know more than me? I don't think so. He was really bad. Anyway, we have headlines to get to, but first we have to take our first commercial break. Whether your favorite team wins or not, there's always another way to win on the BetParx online casino app. You got to check out their brand new games like Huff and More Puff and Fireblaze Sky Queen, which is a BetParx exclusive. It's the only app I ever use to play all my favorite casino games right in the palm of my hand. When I say all my favorite casino games, I'm talking blackjack. I'm talking roulette. I'm talking craps, poker, baccarat, and hot online slots like Cash Eruption, 88 Fortunes, and Cleopatra. They also have slots based on your favorite streaming shows like The Walking Dead, Squid Game, Breaking Bad, and Peaky Blinders, and nostalgic favorites like The Goonies. Plus, right now is the time to get in. They've got a great deal running. New users get up to $1,000 casino bonus back if you're down in the first 24 hours. All you got to do, super easy. Just go to betparx.com, download the app right now, and enjoy all the action and excitement from the casino right at your fingertips. You must be 21 and in PA, Jersey, Maryland, or Michigan for BetParx. You love to play. You play to win. You bet. BetParx. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. And while we're here, I have to tell you about our friends at Xfinity. That's right. We're coming to you live from the Xfinity Lounge right now. And it's really just tremendous what they have done for our connection here, for everything. But it's all about Xfinity when you're watching sports. It's the ultimate sports destination. That's what I want to talk to you about today, because the way you watch sports on Xfinity is absolutely next level. They've got the enhanced 4K, so your sound and pictures like you're in the arena, and they have the multi-view. That's right. Watch up to 4 games at once with the multi-view, while also getting real-time stats and notifications right on your TV so you can keep up with all your parlays and fantasy teams. So next game day, make sure you show off that you're a big fan and not a big fail. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Multi-view requires 4K-capable TV box. All right, It's only been a month or two. I'll learn the transitions eventually. All right, let's get to some headlines. The first one here is, it's a little interesting to see it happen. We've heard the rumors, but Carter Hart has reportedly signed with the Vegas Golden Knights. This was reported as a possibility just a few weeks ago. Of course, the 5 players from the Hockey Canada investigation are not eligible to play until December, but they are eligible to sign starting at the beginning of this month. I do wonder if the injury suffered by their starter, Aiden Hill, in Vegas may have pushed this along a little faster, but now Carter Hart seems to have a destination. Of course, he left here a couple Januaries ago to face the charges from the Hockey Canada investigation, and when the question came up, both sides didn't really seem all that interested in a reunion after he was allowed to hit free agency following the expiration of his contract. It's going to be an interesting thing to watch unfold, how he is received in, any arena really around the league, and what sort of role he's going to play in Vegas. They have the starter, Aiden Hill. He did go down in the Calgary game a couple of days ago. Don't really know the extent of the injury as of yet, but you have to believe he's going to spend some time in the AHL. But the first of the 5 Team Canada players from the scandal have been signed, and it is former Flyer Carter Hart. We kind of knew all along that would happen. He is a number 1 goaltender, or at least he was last time he was in the league. May not have developed into the star we thought he could have been, but he was a damn good player, number 1 in the NHL, and every team needs goaltending. So we all kind of saw this coming, and now it's just about watching it unfold. But everyone watching probably knows my opinion. I was good. I didn't need to see Carter Hart back in orange and black, and I didn't really think there'd be an appetite on either side, and there wasn't. But now it's over. He is a Vegas Golden Knight, and we'll see how it goes from here. He's got an opportunity to backstop a really good team. We'll see how it goes. All right, next headline. Thursday night football tonight. It is the Icy Hot Bowl. We have Joe Flacco and the Bengals, and Aaron Rodgers Steelers, a combined age of 81. It is the third time in NFL history two quarterbacks over the age of 40 are meeting. Drew Brees and Tom Brady faced off twice in 2020. We are going to get this in prime time tonight. Now, there is a Flyers game, so I'm going to be doing pre and post for that. Make sure you tune in right here on the PHLY Sports YouTube page. But I am going to be keeping an eye on this just because it's interesting. It's funny. It's two old-ass dudes. It's Joe Flacco, who is just, I can't remember what show it was yesterday, something where they just called him a handyman. Like, hey, you need a quarterback? You need a guy to come in, throw some passes for you? Joe Flacco's your guy. Not saying it's going to go well, not saying it's going to go poorly. Who the hell knows? But he can play the position. He knows what he's doing. And Aaron Rodgers, of course, he actually hasn't been that bad since he left the Jets and ended up with the Steelers. This is just going to be freaking funny, though. I do laugh when I'm like, two old-ass dudes. I'm like, I don't know. They got like 3-4 years on me. But yeah, they both look aged, is what I'll say after 20 years of taking hits in the NFL. Now we're going to see them head-to-head on primetime football tonight. It's, I think, worth watching. If not for the Flyers game, probably be a little bit more glued in, but definitely going to be keeping an eye on the Icy Hot Bowl. And finally, an awesome headline that I saw on Twitter just a few minutes ago. Got a shout-out. Jason Martinez, who I saw, just a couple minutes ago, said he's had multiple scans showing a complete radiological response to his colorectal cancer treatment, and he used the words cancer-free, and that is freaking awesome to hear. Jason is one of the best dudes in Philly sports media, and this is just a really good outcome for a good guy. I don't know what else to say. We've done a lot of crossovers and appearances with Flyers Daily. Jason arranged a few years ago the All Flyers podcast roundtable where we got to, it was BSH Radio with me and Charlie and Kelly and Steph at the time and all the other shows in town. We all got together and had one big meeting of the podcasts, and it was really cool. But Jason has been dealing with this for a while now, and it is just awesome to hear that Jason is feeling well. He's not feeling nearly as tired or as bad as he had in recent months, and the scans show a complete radiological response. Shout out, Jason. Hell yeah, man. A way to go. Really, really happy to hear. All right, I want to get to some fun stuff, but we got to talk a little Eagles on the other side. However, we are squeezing in a bunch of commercials today, so let's do our next one, Bray. All right. It is time to tell you about Rothman Orthopedics, because whether it's a sore knee, stiff shoulder, or nagging back pain, Rothman Orthopedics is here to help you get back to the life you love. Their team of specialists treats all kinds of orthopedic issues, from everyday strains to long-term joint pain, and they're doing it with care that's efficient, effective, and close to home. Don't let pain keep you sidelined. Schedule an appointment today at rothmanortho.com/PHLY. Rothman Orthopedics, your mobility, their mission. And while we're here, it's time to tell you about Ace Hardware Home Services, because when the weather turns chilly, the last thing you need is a home project piling up. Ace Hardware Home Services brings trusted local pros right to your door to help get your home ready for the colder months. From heating tune-ups and plumbing fixes to generators and emergency repairs, their experts handle it all. There's never any guesswork, never any stress, just a local pro to get the job done right, and your satisfaction is always guaranteed. Find the help you need for your next project at acehardwarehomeservices.com. All right, it's time for a little obligatory Eagles, because I saw on Twitter, I believe it was last night or this morning, from reporter Mike Kay, says, texting with an NFC exec this week about the pass rusher trade market, it sounds like there will be a supply and demand issue for teams looking to upgrade. More teams interested than teams selling, it seems like. And this is kind of what we were talking about yesterday with this Eagles defense. I think the Eagles' problems on offense are fixable. I don't know if they're going to get them fixed, We've seen it go one way. We've seen it go the other way a couple of times over the last couple of years. But they have the personnel on offense. They have the personnel to make it work. On defense, I don't know. I don't know. Even if they were to be able to make a trade with what appear to be probably really high prices, because there's way more buyers than sellers, it sounds like. I don't know if one guy gets the job done here. And that still doesn't, really fix the problem of cornerback or anything else that's really going on with this defense in terms of its depth. It's very funny to think, they're set at linebacker. Their off-ball linebackers, it's the best we've had in years. With Nakobe Dean coming back and they draft Campbell, and of course there's Zach Bond there. The off-ball linebackers, absolutely no concern. The depth on the D-line, especially at edge rusher, they basically have no edge rushers at this point, and at corner is paper thin, and these are the positions they've invested the most in years past, and it just so happens they're thin this year. That's why I think this is a more long-term problem than, they'll get it figured out. I expect the offense to figure it out. I do have my worries about the defense. And the fact that we're talking Brandon Graham's return is kind of a symptom of all of this. It's no longer just some fodder on the internet. I mean, Jason Kelsey is talking about it. Vic Fangio's getting asked about it. It kind of sounds like it's a real possibility that we're going to be seeing Brandon Graham come out of retirement at 37 and a half years old. And I love BG. I am a huge BG fan. That is my go-to jersey. Wear it every Sunday. Number 55. He's a legend. Does it actually fill the hole other than having a guy, though? I said yesterday, I don't know how much of an effect it's going to have on the pass rush. He has always, throughout his career, been really good at setting the edge from edge rusher against the run. So maybe just backs having their way, getting to the outside, getting to the perimeter of this defense, it solves that issue. But a 37-and-a-half-year-old coming off of, 2 triceps injuries, basically, who hasn't played yet. We're almost halfway through the year. Maybe he's fresh. Maybe he's rested. Maybe he's healthy. I just don't know if it's actually a solution to this team's problems. Even if BG comes out of retirement, they need somebody else. They need somebody else to replace all the guys they lost this offseason, and Nolan Smith, who hasn't really showed a propensity for staying healthy in his short time in the NFL. I just don't know if this actually solves the issue. Listen, the depth is a problem. They're adding a guy. They need a guy. If this does happen, and it's cool as hell for BG. Listen, if he thinks he has more in the tank, if he's not ready to be done yet, if it was kind of, hey man, if we win the Super Bowl, it would just be so cool to go out on top, and now he's feeling like, I got more left in the tank. Hell yeah, 5-5. Like, go out and get it. You only have so much time to play in your career. If you still think you can, go and do it. But we still need other stuff on this defense, and that's what brings me to this week's matchup with Carson Wentz. The Vikings still haven't named a starter, but it feels like it's trending in the direction of, McCarthy's ankle, J.J. McCarthy's ankle, it's not 100%. He's getting out there and practicing a little bit, but really, why bring him back? It's not as if he was setting the world on fire, and it's not as if Carson Wentz has been all that bad. Now, he has been sacked 12 times in his 3 starts, but he's also completing almost 70% of his passes, and this feels like a real fork in the road for the Eagles' defense this week. Now, they have had health issues. It does look like Jalen Carter is going to be good. We're not sure about Quinyon Mitchell yet, and if Q doesn't suit up, that is a real matchup problem given what the Vikings have at receiver. But this kind of feels like, if they are at least somewhat healthy on defense, a fork in the road. If they can get to Wentz and turn him over a few times, that's a good sign that the personnel and scheme are at least baseline competent. I don't know if they're going to beat the elite teams with this defense. This offense really has to make up for what they're missing on D this year. But at least you're going to get baseline competence out of the defense. If Carson Wentz comes out, doesn't face a ton of pressure, is able to get the ball a ton of times to Justin Jefferson, he's able to get the ball downfield to Jordan Addison, That is a real scary proposition. That means this defense is broken. So it's a real bad indication for the rest of the year if they don't get 2-3 sacks, if they don't get a turnover or two against what is a middle of the road. Carson Wentz is better than he's looked in, I don't know, the past couple of years at least, but it's freaking Carson Wentz. We know how to scheme against this guy. A lot of these players have seen him up close. They played against him in 2022. This is it. Beat this guy, beat the Giants, get to the bye week, be 6-2, figure it out from there. I'm down. If this is a struggle, if they lose to the Vikings, we are in absolutely serious trouble. I don't really know what else to say about this freaking thing. It's Carson Wentz, man. We know what we're looking at. He stares down his receivers. He holds the ball too long. This is something you can take advantage of. And if you're not able to, they have to fix the defense in the upcoming offseason, and this might be a real step-back season. All right, we have one more break, and then we have some fun stuff to get to on the other side. But right now, I got to tell you about the Ashley Fan Cave. All right, picture this. A fan cave that actually feels like your dream setup. Thanks to Ashley, that could be real. We're giving away a $2,500 Ashley Furniture gift card so you can go big on a sectional, add some stylish pieces, or trick out your space for game day. It's all up to you. Just visit ashleyfancave.com, see if you're eligible, fill out the form, and you're entered. It's that simple. Enter now, and you might be watching the next big game in a fan cave built by you, courtesy of our friends at Ashley. All right, welcome back. We have a few fun segments to round out the show today, the first one of which is social studies. I wanted to do this because apparently Kirk Herbstreit brings his dog Peter everywhere, and it's starting to get a lot of negative attention on the internet. And I saw this video posted today on Herbstreit's Twitter, and it's him playing with his dog in the hallway of a hotel. Now, people are complaining, oh, think about all the people on that floor. I have to believe that at least this hallway, if not this entire floor, is nothing but ESPN personalities. It's also, this video was posted at like 5:30 in the afternoon, so worrying about people sleeping isn't really a concern. I think if you're complaining about this, you're a dork. Now, I'm not someone who likes to bring his dog everywhere. My wife is like, hey, you want to bring Bo? We're going to this restaurant. I'm like, no, it sounds like a nightmare. I don't feel like looking after my dog while I'm eating. That just doesn't sound like something I'm into. And he's 15. He's chill as hell. But I just don't want to be responsible. He bites someone because he doesn't like them. Or some other dog bites in. I can't afford vet bills. I'm not doing all this. I don't need my dog with me. But people who do bring their dogs places, if they're well-trained and well-behaved, I think it's great. I think it's cool as hell. I love seeing dogs around. And the one thing I did see that made me stop and think for a second was, some people are afraid of dogs because they were attacked by a dog as a kid or something. All right. I know a couple little kids with fear of dogs or whatever. How many people have actually been attacked viciously by a dog? Because I'm going to tell you, I know zero. I know absolutely zero people who have been mauled by a dog in their life. So yes, I'm sure they exist, but I don't know if we need to be making exceptions in our life because some people might have PTSD from a dog attack. I have never seen anyone mauled by a dog. I don't know anyone who's been mauled by a dog. And that's a freaking golden retriever. I really don't think the idiot little brother of dogs is going to cause too much harm to anybody. I saw this. People love to complain. It's the internet, I know. But this just, find something else to complain about. There is a lot going wrong in the world. This isn't one of those things. All right, I want to get to this People Are Strange story, and I'm a little sad Tyler isn't here today because we've been planning this story for weeks. It feels like about a week, and we just haven't had time to get to it. There's a lot been going on in sports, but since the Phillies are out and the Eagles haven't played in a week, I figured we could do it today. This is a story of an old man who robbed a supermarket to get into prison and help his inmate grandson. It's actually kind of a sweet story, a little bit of a tragic story. But this unusual incident took place in mid-September, at the end of September. A former firefighter with no criminal record walked into a supermarket located near the local police station holding a firearm. After demanding all the money in the cash register and helping himself to a piece of cheese and a bottle of wine, the man was arrested as he slowly walked back to his car as if he wanted to be caught. And it turns out that was exactly his goal. He has a grandson who is in prison, and prison, not a great place. It doesn't seem like the grandson has been having a real solid time there. Not shocking. So the old man decided, you know what, I'm going to go and watch my grandson's back. I'm just going to do something dumb, get arrested. This is a beautiful story, quite honestly, but it doesn't have the ending the old man was hoping for. While he was prosecuted for armed robbery, aggravated assault, and rebellion, the 60-year-old man had the clean criminal record, and so the court kind of just said, hey, you got to, pay back the store you robbed, and that's it. Because you acted out of desperation, he shouldn't have to pay a high price for it, but he wanted to pay a high price for it. It's disappointing that the court didn't see what was going on, and it really throws a wrench in shows like Sons of Anarchy, where the whole gang's getting arrested. I got to protect them. I'm gonna do something to also get arrested. It just kind of feels like that, and it bummed me out to know that the old man wasn't able to go and help his grandson. He does maintain his visitation rights, though. I just thought that was a story I wanted to get to. Only a few minutes left, so let's hit on this date, October 16th, 1983. We suffered one of these days just a few, a week ago? Yeah, it was Thursday. It was a week ago, and it matched this historical date that happened in 1983. All three teams in action lost, and they lost devastatingly. The Phillies lose the World Series to the Orioles, getting blanked 5-0 in Game 5 for a 4-1 series win for the Oilers. For the Orioles, big loss there. The Phils get back to the World Series after winning it in 80, and then they go down to what I believe was Cal Ripken Jr.'s rookie year Baltimore Orioles team. Just a bummer. The Eagles, not to be outdone, lost to the Cowboys 37-7 on this date. Ron Jaworski was terrible. He went 7 for 20 for 172 yards and 2 picks. 7 for 20. That's unimaginable by today's standards. And the Flyers, not to be outdone, lost their first game of the year of the 1983 regular season, 5-4 to the New York Rangers. This was the last time we had a day like this up until last Thursday when all three teams took the beating that they took. Of course, the Phils get eliminated. The Eagles lose on Thursday Night Football to the freaking Giants somehow. And just for good measure, the Flyers lost their season opener to the defending champs. At least they got their revenge in their own home opener against the Florida Panthers. But that is all the time we have for you on Philadelphia today. Thank you all for listening. Thank you for hanging out. If you haven't already, you got to follow us right here on the PHLY Sports YouTube page. We are over 50,000 followers. We are on our way to 100K. You can be the next one. Help us get there. We'd greatly appreciate it. And hit that like button. 25 likes. I'll take it, but I want a whole lot more. The likes make me feel good about myself. I didn't climb 7 flights of stairs today for 25 likes. Get me to triple figures, goddammit. Also, follow me on Twitter at Philadelphia, PHLY, and follow the podcast wherever you get those. Just search Philadelphia. All right, that'll do it for us. I am Bill Matz. Thank you to Bree for producing. Until tomorrow, be excellent to each other.
We all silly like the mayor.